And we are live. Hello, all you returning viewers. And if you're new, thank you for tuning in. This is the SuperBoss Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Luc Tran, joined by Harrison Ngo and Ian Eatwell. What we do is we talk about what's going on in the nerd world. We talk about movies, comics, anime, video games, usually video games right now, because that's really what anybody can experience. If you're a new listener, the way we start out is we kind of have a little bit of a pre-show. We talk about what we've been playing recently, and then we'll talk about any cool news we've heard recently, and then we'll get into our main topic. Which our main topic today, it just happened. We had the PS5 Future of Gaming reveal, and we also have the PC Gaming Show. We'll be talking about all of that. But before we get into the main topic, what have you guys been playing this week?
Uh, Let me see. I've been
You first,
playing. What?
You first.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear sir.
And they say Chivalry's dead.
Ah, I do declare. I've been playing. I've been getting back into Slay the Spire a little bit.
Oh, my man.
I think that's a game I'll just always go back to.
It's a nice game to go back to, I think.
Yeah.
Have you gotten into the modding yet? Have you tried any modding?
I haven't, though. I think that might be my next thing I do with it. Because I still really want to try out the mod that you told me about, which was the Sailor Moon mod.
Yeah, it is super nice. Modding for Slay the Spire is so easy.
Really?
Okay. Yeah. It's all through Steam. You don't have to have any third party.
Is it like the workshop
applications or anything? Yeah, you can just get them from the workshop.
Oh my god, now I'm about to look at this.
Is it kind of like
I don't know if there are any mods on Nexus, but I've only gotten my mods from the Steam Workshop, so I'll say that. What are you gonna say, Ian?
Is it kind of like Divinity Original Sin 2? Where it's just hey, you can add these mods and on the game screen, or it's you just go to the Steam Workshop.
You just go to the Steam Workshop, and I think there's just a
list.
It's been a little while since I've downloaded, but you just go to the Steam Workshop. You can just usually on all the mods, there's just a download button, and it'll add it to your Steam folder.
That's sick. Awesome. Yeah. I really want to try that mod out because.
Did you know that the game's going on to? It's going to be on app or
yes.
I heard going to iOS.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Holy shit. Super smart.
I've been waiting for that.
Yeah, right. That's a great game to be on.
Get that on Android. I'll fucking play that shit on.
Jeez, don't do that to me.
Productivity down.
I mean, I don't know. There were rumors it was going to Switch.
Oh. It's already on Switch.
Is it? Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember if it was going to or it's already on, and
it's already on there. Yeah.
That's it's
for
anybody listening, get Slay the Spire if you're into deck building. It's a deck building roguelike game that is super great. Great indie developer. It's I think one main guy developing it. He has artists for some of it, I think, but
I think there's two co-creators. I think.
Yeah. Slay the Spire. Check it out. I don't care who you are. If you're into video games, you deserve to check out Slay the Spire.
And for I think on Switch at least for the next maybe week or so, it's been on sale. Switch has been having a huge sale, so I think Slay the Spire is going for 16 versus 25.
Nice.
So go for it.
You playing anything else, Ian?
Yeah. We also talked about Slay the Spire before, so you should know our feelings about it too. Just get it. The other big thing I've been playing is I've been going back into not back into, this is my first time, but I got into Final Fantasy 15.
I saw that pop up one day.
Downloaded that and started playing it.
On PC or PS4?
PC.
Okay.
Yeah. That's I kind of I think it was you guys that I talked to when you both said you started playing Final Fantasy 15 and then you just kind of dropped it after a while because of something else came up or whatever, right?
Basically. Yeah, something else dropped, and I think I just switched over to that game.
Yeah,
from what I remember.
I don't know. I'm only let me see. I'm only 5 hours into it, but I think I miss the like turn-based system.
I completely understand where you're coming from.
Like
Same.
that's all like I think almost all except for like the MMOs. I don't know about those, but all the Final Fantasy games prior have all been turn-based now.
Yeah, 10 was the last number turn-based one.
Oh, okay. All right. So 10.
Because you had 11 was an MMO, and then 12 was when they had their real-time battle, and then 13, 14 was the MMO, 15 was
Right.
obviously real-time.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah,
Was 13 real time?
yeah. 13 or no, it wasn't.
No, it was turn based. I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
That shows how much I know about 13.
Well, actually, it depends. It depends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah,
13.1 and 13.2 are turn-based. I think 13.3 is real time.
that's real time. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I just kind of miss it. But I don't know. I think I need to play a little bit more of this one to actually like, because I'm not having fun. It's cool to cruise around with the boys.
With the boys.
See,
My
my whole
crew.
thing was because I know Nomura, who did 15, also does Kingdom Hearts. I'm
Right.
just even comparing Final Fantasy 12 to Final Fantasy 15. 15 feels a lot more hacky slashy. Whereas in 12, there was a way to just set it to basically turn based. You had to
Right.
wait for like your action gauge to fill out, which is kind of reminiscent of the older Final Fantasies, but you could always take it in turns, or you could use the gambit system and automate it.
Mhm.
But I feel like the gambit system made it not so hack and slashy because you could just program a character a specific way
Mhm.
where you didn't really have to do anything and they would just play themselves without having to just like monotonously do your light and heavy attack before you can cast a spell.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like about 15's combat. And
Mhm.
granted, I think I only have like maybe 3 or 4 hours on 15.
Mhm.
I don't have a lot, but I just remember the combat was a little all over the place.
Yeah, and I do get there's like if you get like a handle on the combat, there's like a flow that you can kind of get into, and so like once you like pull off that, there's like a flow to the system, right? To where you're always going to be like moving around doing something, and I can see how
Mhm.
that's like entertaining and how that would be really cool once you like get comfortable enough to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because there's things like you like, and it's like you hold this button or time this button right, and he'll like dodge, and then you can combo into this move, and you can do this ally trigger ability into this other thing, and all these like combo
It
stuff.
it just feels busy.
It is, yeah, I think it
And
is.
that's yeah, I'm not a fan of busy combat like that.
Mm. The thing that I have about it is I don't like if you are gonna have a combat system where you're like actively fighting, I guess, or like and if you're gonna have like a real time system, I don't like uh how it's just you hold you can basically just hold one button to like do a bunch of combo attacks.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
like you can hold a button and then like hold left on the joystick, and he'll kind of like attack while also like slightly moving the character to the left to like get like a backstab or whatever they call it in this game. But yeah, and I just don't like if you're gonna like have a game that has like combo moves and stuff, I want to like do something more fighting game style, like XXY or something like that, to like actually have that like feeling of, oh, I pulled that off, instead of just like I'm holding this button for like 3 seconds. Now I'll hold this button for 3 seconds. That kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I I was curious about getting back into that game. But from what I've read up, if you played Final Fantasy 7, you'll notice the jump not jump, but like you'll notice like they'll take good stuff from Final Fantasy 15 and then mix it with like Final Fantasy 7 or like classic stuff,
Mhm.
like classic mechanics. So
Mhm.
I'm kind of worried about going back into that game as well.
Yeah.
But I know in 7 they have that same feature, like holding it, but I realized I never played that way.
Mm.
Like
Yeah, you just played like normally.
I played like as if I button mashed and I tried to do combos type of shit. So I don't know if that's a thing in that. We'll see.
Yeah, you can't like. Oh man, I actually can't remember. Think you can. I think you can time your bees as well. Actually, I don't know. I need to play more to find that out.
Yeah.
But I just don't like that. That's a thing. But I don't want to like shit on the game too much either, because like I'm having fun with it. And I've only played 5 hours.
Yeah, I only have 5 hours too, so that's why I can't say much. To be honest,
But
that's just tutorial from what I remember.
it's like tutorial area, and then you get out into the like real world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something else is I don't like. So the big thing in this is like you have side missions that are like hunting missions, and it's weird. I don't. Maybe it's just the time that I was playing it. I was like, I'm just kind of out of it or whatever. But I don't feel like compelled to do those.
Do you have to?
No, they're like side.
So
So
yeah, just like side grinding missions.
Yeah, and you, it's it is fun. If you want to like customize your car and do stuff like that, you need to do them because that's like that's how you make money. You make money by doing the like hunting missions and stuff.
Right.
It's very
but I like
open worldy in that aspect where it's like you got to do the grind to actually do a lot more progression than just going through the story and getting those levels.
Yeah. I like it's funny. I like was like, oh, I can drive my own car, so I like started driving, and I was like trying to pull some funny shit, and I ended up. It was at the very beginning. You're having to like push your car. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
that. Somebody was coming down the road, and I was like, they're not like they're making me like be on a track. I can kind of just push it anywhere. So I like turned it into the other lane, and then we collided. I was like, oh, my car is busted now. Like all my windshields are cracked.
Oh my gosh.
And then I tried to like fix it, and she's like, "Oh, it costs like 100, or I think it's like I don't know 500 or 1,000. It costs like this much money." And it's like, "Oh, I have like 5. I can't fix my car."
You messed up, kid.
Messed up. But
cheat.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing. What about you, Harrison?
I've just been playing Destiny, honestly, ever since did we talk about how they announced new stuff?
No, we haven't talked about the new update yet.
Oh my god. So that's a thing. So new season started for Destiny, so I was just trying to grind for that. They dropped a new free dungeon, so just been playing that. Our group's just been trying to power grind and get up to a point where we can actually run that dungeon, because it's and to explain, the dungeon, like a dungeon in Destiny, is kind of like the raid, except there's only 3 people, so versus 6. So
right,
I haven't tried it yet. I want to go in blind and just kind of do it, because it's not a raid, so I don't expect it to take super long.
Like have too many.
I eat my words later on. But I
can't. Sorry, I can't remember. Does the Shattered Throne? That's a dungeon too, right?
That's a dungeon. Yeah.
Does that have a boss at the end? I can't remember.
Yeah, it does.
Remember how there's like 3 guards and then the main boss in the back?
Oh,
like
okay.
Some witch or something. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So there's that, and then I always forget what the Shadowkeep one was, but
Pit of Heresy.
Pit of Heresy. Yes. So that's the other one, and then now this one. But I think what the cool part for everyone was everyone can just access this event or this dungeon without having to pay for even the season pass or expansion. So I think that was a cool move. But mostly just been playing that with the guys. Nothing else.
Is there
nothing?
Have you done a lot of time with the new public event?
Yep. Yeah, got to do that for a good bit. I like that a lot better than the last seasons. Because I think last seasons was like on the moon. They would have points where you had to like throw orbs at it just to charge it up. This one's more like Gambit, but essentially Gambit with like less stress because you don't have to worry
I've
about the
heard
other
that
team.
because there's no invasions. It's just
Yeah, no
Gambit.
evasions. You're just if anything they upped the difficulty because then each wave that you get gets harder. So it's kind of like Escalation Protocol meets Gambit, kind of, or it's supposed to, but no, it's not that bad. I think I would rather farm this event than last season's.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think overall this season's going in a better direction, and I'm just enjoying it a lot more compared to
Cool
before.
ass Buster Sword.
Dude, man, holy shit. I just need to get to that point. It's like some level on the season pass. No, it's free to everyone. So you have to
Yeah.
get to a certain point and then you just get it. And I'm like,
It's
this sword's
level
dope.
30 on the
Yeah.
on the free pass. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is where I kind of sit on the side of like because Bungie's doing this whole weapon retirement thing where after a certain point in the season or after I guess a certain amount of seasons they'll start capping power levels on certain weapons. But it's not bad because in all honesty, it's only affecting Nightfalls, raids, the newest raid, and then trials, but everything else doesn't get affected. So because I still get
I didn't know that.
yeah, no, because that's what everyone's freaking out about. They're like, oh, I worked so hard for this weapon. I'm like, still use this weapon if you go into PvP like normal. But if you want to play competitive, which not many people do right now, it doesn't even matter. Like, yeah, you want to play top of the line stuff, but that's meta stuff. But if you just want to play PvP, everyone's still running Mountaintop like crazy.
Yeah, fuck that.
And then like strikes, you just use whatever. Like older raids, it's not like it's older raids. You can still use old like whatever stuff you had.
I
don't
changed
think
my
that's a
mind.
big
Get
deal.
Mountaintop out of here. I don't want that.
See, that's
Sorry,
that's
just
the
take it out.
argument. Yeah, that's my argument of change it up because there's always going to be pinnacle weapons. There, if anything, they just had to like. We had a discussion in our group about it. Someone had a good point. I can't remember it though. It was super late.
Oh,
but
sad. I get
didn't-
it. It's like I get the mentality of I really like this gun. I don't want to like you're forcing me to not use this gun that I like. But there's also they have to.
But they want to make new guns.
They add, yeah, like if they add, like if eventually there's just going to be like 10,000 types of guns in the game, it's going to be like overwhelming, and then it's just going to turn into like this is just like this, but a little bit different this way. And it's like just sing the same shit over and over.
Yeah. So I get it. And then I know some of the guys were like, oh, I don't like how we have to retire armor every season, but eventually they're going to put transmog, I think, by the end of the year.
Oh, I hope so.
And I'm like, then that just, if you care about fashion, then that's perfect. You just put whatever armor skin you want on it, then cool. So, anyway.
You can look super kawaii.
Easy. But yeah, that's all I've been playing, honestly. Nothing else.
Okay.
What's about you?
I'm slowly getting the hang of Darkest Dungeon.
Oh yeah, that's right. We were playing that.
And by that I mean I understand. Hey, you shouldn't take 4 damage dealers into a dungeon. You're gonna die. I was like, wow, why didn't I think of that?
Healing?
Yeah, like I'm still learning how to use each class specifically, but I generally know how to handle like a front line, second row, third row, back row. I'm starting to feel better about that. And I'm not like so stressed about buying supplies where it's like, oh, I need to buy every piece of food just in case they get hungry. And it's like, it's a short dungeon. You only need 8 pieces of food. So I've been doing that. But mainly, I mentioned to Ian and Harrison right before, I've gotten really into keyboards. And by that, I mean, I've been doing a lot of research on keyboards, like looking into what kinds of switches are available, and not even between like, oh, what's the difference between a Cherry MX Red and a Cherry MX Blue? It's like, oh, what's the difference between I have a Cherry MX, I've got a Topra, Gateron, a Kale. What kind of keyboard? Like, what if I use a Leopold keyboard with a Cherry MX Brown? And it's a mess, mainly because I broke my keyboard and I need a new one.
You
Uh,
want the good shit now.
I looked into, I think it's a brand, they're from Taiwan called Ducky. I think a lot of people who stream, who are maybe like mid-level to really high-level streamers, most of them I see have Duckies, um, mainly because they have a really nice aesthetic.
Mhm.
Because a lot of them are like the 60%, so there's no number pad, and Ducky has a lot of customizable keycaps,
Yep. I see
so
that. Yeah, I
they
recognize
always look really nice.
Mhm.
So I have, or I ordered a Ducky. If I like it with the switches, because I got Cherry MX Red Silence, I'm gonna
Ooh,
get some
yeah.
special keycaps. So I'm going like all in on this.
Oh, I'm
Silent.
excited for you. Gosh.
Yeah, it's like because I remember a lot of people. I think like in our friend group and a lot of people we know who did a lot of like PC gaming when they like got out of high school. It's like, oh, Razer everything, and like Razer's not bad by any stretch of
But
imagination.
it's just like one of those brands that everyone just kinda
It's
gravitates
yeah,
towards. If you don't
and
look into it, it's just one of the
I
top.
hate their keyboards. Like I think a lot of people when they think of mechanical keyboard, quote unquote, you think of the Razer, where it's just like just like clicks and clacks all over the place.
Hmm.
And at first I didn't mind it, but now, especially because my girlfriend hates any sort of loud typing, but even
Mhm.
now, like when I hear really loud keyboards, I just cringe inside. It's like it's so loud. Like, why would you want to use that?
I was about to start typing on my keyboard just to like
Yeah, I was also like, I'm borrowing. My
Click
girlfriend
and
had
clack.
a wireless Logitech that I've been using since mine broke, and it's a good keyboard. It's just really loud, so I try and avoid smashing it like I'm used to with my old keyboard, because my old keyboard was a membrane, so it was really quiet.
yeah. And then, like, I think that just comes with, like, preference at that point because I know some people really
Yeah,
don't
some
care.
people
If
some
anything,
people love.
they want the sound. They wanna feel like, it's like, oh, you type on a mechanical, you get to feel it, get to, like, hear it.
Speaking of like preference, and now it's like I'm reading, oh, this specific switch is linear versus this one is tactile. I'm like, oh, I actually know the difference. I know what that means now. Whereas like a lot of people like, hey, is it linear? It's like, what?
What?
It's like
What's that mean?
it clicks. But yeah, I found out I'm a huge fan of linear key switches.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I forgot which one I got. I got a Corsair
Yeah,
one just because I like the colors.
yeah, it's nice too because mine is also RGB.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's
Um,
good.
one
Nice.
thing I don't know. Do you know what Corsair keyboard you do have?
I have the I think 75.
Okay, I
I think that's
know because
I think that's the one. Hold on.
all I know, Ducky has RGB software. I don't know if it's good or not, but it's one of those RGB keyboard programs where you can code in like each button press will do something, or you can like
Mhm.
I have that.
make it not just glow. Yeah, so I'm really
Yeah.
excited for that.
Those are super fun.
Is it K70? Not 75. Is it K70?
I know there's K70s, there's K95s. I think are the new
K95. I know
ones.
I don't have the K95. Yeah, I have the K70 Mark II.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that's one I was considering because I've heard comparisons. There's the Corsair K70. There's also the Corsair Strafe, which is
Mhm.
supposed to be their like quiet keyboard.
Quiet. Yes. I think that one
Um,
costs more from what I remember. Maybe I'm wrong. It's
no,
been a while.
I think that also used um, Cherry MX Silent Reds, but
Yeah.
it's
But I think
I probably would have gotten it. I do really like Corsair, um, but I thought I might as well just try something new.
yeah, I mean that's not a bad thing because a lot of keyboard enthusiasts, they're like most of them don't really use big brands. They like I feel like there's a trend. They all like the eight. What was it? 80? Is that what it's called? 80%?
The
Can't remember.
60%.
60%. Yeah, because just no number pad, and they all like that size. and then there's some that have like different ordering of the keys, which is kind of weird, but it's
Yeah.
aesthetically pleasing.
I do really like. If we're gonna go off on tangent, if we keep going, I do really like the size of 60%, but I'm
I like the number.
very used to the number pad, and I
Yeah,
don't know if I don't have it, if it's gonna throw me off. Because every time I'm like, if I put in my credit card information when I'm ordering something, or I like put in my
mhm.
phone number for stuff, I just default to the number
Uh,
pad.
Yeah, same. So
Whereas like if I try to use the like number bar, it's throwing me off.
mhm.
when I I don't know, I got used to it pretty quick because I went from a full to a number padless, and
Yeah,
it
there's
like
a
it threw me off like a couple times where I'd like go for it. It's kind of like having the ghost feeling where it'd be like go for the number pad. It's like, oh,
it's
it's
just
not
not
there.
there.
Whoops. But
Oops.
after like a month, it was fine.
That's oh man, because this Logitech that I'm borrowing, it's got in addition to this your standard QWERTY keyboard and number pad, it's got media controls and it's
Mm,
got 6 hotkeys,
mm.
and it just I don't like it's too much for me.
Ah,
You want that minimalism,
Yeah, because I think you guys know I tend to like minimalist all my computer stuff, like
Mhm.
no icons on my screen. I hide the taskbar so it's just naked, just my wallpaper.
uh,
And, like,
I
all
get you.
these extra buttons that I never use or I don't need to use right now.
My
So
computer's just naked.
I think the only thing I really want on my keyboard is like the volume rocker, just to like adjust my volume without having to like go into
Mhm.
the computer
mm.
settings. But
Mhm.
that's just me. Anyway, that's keyboards.
Moving on, going away from keyboards, um, I don't wanna spend too much time on any cool news we've heard,
Is
'cause
all
that's
of it.
gonna be the bulk of our main topic,
Yeah.
but, do you guys have anything, like, real quick to
Besides
mention?
that, no, I think everything cool is from from the past week is all things gaming just popping up.
Did uh we mention did we mention last episode the itch.io
Yeah, we mentioned there's
package?
the,
Okay. The
there
$5 for
yeah, uh, a lot of people are doing because I know there's the Humble Bundle, um,
oh, they okay.
Racial
Cool.
Injustice Bundle,
Sick.
and then itch.io is doing their, Black Lives Matter bundle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, check those out.
Yeah, yeah, that's all I got too. Yeah.
I think the Steam Game Festival just launched today, which is mainly about up and coming games. It's not like a sale per se,
Right.
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah.
just there's like Q&As and demos with devs, and then usually some free demos and stuff. So that's another thing to check out. But yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot we can talk about before just spoiling our main topic.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty
Cool.
much main topic stuff for
All
me.
right. So before we get started on the main topic, we're going to take a quick little break. So get up, take a stretch, get some water. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back from our break. This is where the three of us get into our main topic for the episode. And the main topic today, it just happened a few days ago. We had them in tandem. It was the PlayStation 5 event, Future of Gaming. And then just a few days later, we had the PC Gaming Show. Um, this isn't going to be like a few of our other episodes. We're mainly going to be going down the list of all the reveals, but we will be taking the time to talk about some of the big ones. So let's just get started with the PS5 event. Um, it was funny. The very first thing they showed was the Grand Theft Auto 5.
That
Um, it's going to PS5.
game's gonna be played forever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's right.
I don't have too much to say. I think I've seen a lot of the memes comparisons. It's basically the Skyrim
It's basically the
of
Skyrim.
the Grand Theft Auto genre because it's like,
Yeah.
and I mean, some people aren't happy at all because I think you look at the past 7 years of Grand Theft Auto, it's
Mhm.
only been GTA 5.
It has.
But the 7 years previously, they've had, like, GTA
Uh,
Vice City, I think, San Andreas, um, 4 and then all of 4's DLC. So there are some people who think Rockstar's just kind of milking Grand Theft Auto 5.
They are. Let's be real here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say definitively yes or no, but to me it feels like they're definitely riding the coattails of GTA 5 a little bit. Um, I have GTA 5 on my PC. I haven't played it in 3-4 years,
Yeah, it's
so
been a
I
minute.
didn't particularly care. I don't
Yeah.
know if you guys felt any differently.
It's cool. I mean, it's cool for those that are super invested into GTA Online, sure. So, because that's going to be free for PS5 owners. So, I think props to them. Cool.
Yeah, I was never a huge GTA person. I played like 2 or 3 of them,
Mhm.
but
The
if that's your jam, yeah.
the one after though was the first big moment of I got really excited. They did Marvel Spider-Man's Miles Morales, which I think
Oh,
Ian, I don't know if you played Spider-Man. You definitely watched though, right? Like, did you watch
yeah,
Harrison?
yeah. I watched Harrison play a little bit. I
Yeah,
watched some streamer people play a little bit too. It looked dope.
I love
Bro,
that game.
the moment they dropped that, I was like, wait, I wasn't playing on buying a PS5. Is this it?
Now I am.
Show
And
us the
and it
start.
turns out it's a super complex, like, it's not a new game, it's a
No.
standalone game, but it's still set in the same generic time as the original, Marvel
You
Spider-Man
think they're
PS4.
basically trying to do like a Spider-Verse kind of thing where it's like these 2 things are
No,
like
I mean, I
coexisting
think
at the same time, just different.
I've heard a lot of comparisons because I think, the Infamous game series did something like that, where they effectively had a DLC released for, I think, Infamous 2, but it was its own standalone game. And so
Mm.
it was, like, bigger than a DLC, but it wasn't necessarily a full-length
Yeah,
game.
it was First
I've
Light. So they did that. It's essentially in the same universe or same universe. I think time differently, but essentially all the same assets. But it was just based on a different character. So,
Mm.
and then I
Yeah,
think another game was Uncharted that also did that as
because
well.
I mean,
What did Uncharted do?
I forgot what it's called. Hold on.
Is it a different character?
Yeah, it was I think it was based on Chloe Lost Legacy. That's what it was. Uncharted
Oh,
Lost Legacy was supposed to be a DLC, ended up becoming its standalone game as well.
yeah, but I was a little bummed out that it's not necessarily a new
oh,
game, but
okay.
I'm gonna get it regardless 'cause, um, Spider-Man on PS4 was just a great game to play, and especially after, I think, Into the Spider-Verse, a lot more people are gonna be interested in Miles Morales.
Mhm.
Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I can't wait for that game.
I can't wait. I was gonna say I'm on the other side where I was kind of confused why they would do that as like a next game because I was like with the not to spoil like essentially with the cliffhanger they gave on the first game I was like wait why are we switching completely is that because I was looking forward to that storyline that they were starting to touch on so
Mm.
that's why I
It's
was
the
hesitant.
I kinda get where you're coming from. It is a weird, like, this coulda just been, because they did 3 smaller DLC
This could
releases.
be a huge
It's
one.
weird that they didn't just include this as the next DLC, but I guess it's meant to be bigger. I don't necessarily know, but
Hmm.
I was also like, I really wanna play as Miles Morales, but it'd be weird to not continue Peter's story, especially after, like you said, the cliffhanger,
Yeah,
Yeah.
at the end.
Mhm.
but
But
no, I'm super excited. Can't
yeah,
wait. First game, gonna get.
the next one, I'm not gonna go through all of them. I do wanna kind of make note of this was it was Gran Turismo 7, which I think my only experience with the Gran Turismo series was my brother and I used to play a demo of it on our, like, PS1,
Yeah.
but it's even funny because I was watching a bit of the PS5 event with my girlfriend,
Hmm.
and she doesn't care for racing games at all. Neither do I really. But I think one thing that the racing game genre always gets super well is the graphics,
Graphics, yeah. I
which
was gonna say.
yeah, the graphics in that game look absolutely bonkers.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna play it because I don't really care, but it's really interesting to see the fidelity they try and go for.
I was gonna say, like, I know every time like a new console comes up, it's like, yeah, just look for like the racing game or like the sports game and just see what details they have. And
Yeah.
that's like a good good indication of how good the console is gonna be or how the graphics will be, hopefully.
Hmm.
So looks cool. But
Yeah, in terms of like if you want like a hyper realistic game, it's definitely those like a racing game or a sports game.
yeah.
Uh, we were messaging each other outside of we were messing each other we were messaging each other while the event was going on, and I think Harrison and I both kind of had the same like oh my god moment with Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah. So you know what's even funnier? I was like, a lot of the podcast people I follow, they're like, what if they just drop Knack 3 somewhere? So when that first popped up, they're like, it's just Knack 3? And then Ratchet drops down. I was like, oh shit. Can't believe this is happening.
Dude, if they don't drop an Act 3,
They didn't though.
that'd be a
So,
bummer.
why did
No,
you
like
doubt
later
it?
on.
Oh, later on? I
Yeah,
doubt it.
it'd be a bummer.
But yeah. Same wavelength, fucking hype for that game.
It's
Uh,
kind of nice because at least to me, Ratchet and Clank feels like a newer mascot for PlayStation,
mhm.
and you just haven't seen him in quite a while.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't it's weird because I'm curious of like for newer people, like younger people, for instance, like they see it as oh cool, Ratchet and Clank, but like for us, we've seen them for like
Yeah, like it's the
ever.
same way I feel with like the Jack and Daxter series,
Mm-hmm.
where it to me felt like a PlayStation flagship character. And,
Yeah,
like
yeah, he
I
was.
haven't seen him in forever, and it was really cool to see.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm happy. I need to. This also just reminded me to go back and play the first one on PlayStation 4. So just need to actually do that, and then delve into this one.
It looks
Super hyped.
good. Like
Dude.
I mean, of course, this is like not indicative. Like these are all like cutscene stuff, right? So
Yeah.
well, no, there is some gameplay. There's some gameplay in here. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
there is.
they had a gameplay segment.
Yeah, there was like everyone's trying to show off ray tracing at this point. Just like, oh
Right.
look
Yeah,
at
because
like
they had some Sonic Adventure 2 rail sliding.
Yeah, when he's like jumping
to
through
me, I was like,
dimensions.
Yeah.
wait, reference. I thought you were just talking about the game. I was like, they showed that.
Yeah.
But nah.
But sorry, go ahead. Yeah, ray tracing and
Oh yeah, no, it's just the gameplay was just essentially just showing like rail grinding, look at how detailed everything is, reflections, all that stuff. Super hype.
there was a
Uh,
girl.
oh yeah, the little the cliffhanger ending. Like, oh, they've been separated. And like, oh, it's a new character. It's a girl.
It's
What?
it's girl Ratchet or Dax. I don't know. I never played these games. I'm sorry. Ratchet, right?
Was it-
Yeah, Ratchet's
Yes.
the
I mean,
animal.
you weren't
I didn't grow up on
yeah,
PlayStation.
you didn't really have PlayStation when you were growing up.
I was a Nintendo boy.
You missed out.
I did. Well, no, I didn't. I had my own things that you guys missed out on, so screw you.
On the GameCube?
Oh yeah, dude.
No, that's what I'm saying. But I mean, I had that too.
All right, well, not all of us are.
I know, no, not even.
I'm
I
just
just got
kidding.
lucky, and I was like, oh, because all my cousins were like, oh, get the GameCube. Okay, cool. But I really wanted the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, dude. PlayStation 2 is pretty hype.
It's a great console.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Moving on.
Project Athia was a thing. It was.
Square Enix.
It
I believe.
looked like
Yeah.
Square Enix. It looked like a cool trailer, but
That's cool.
it was a like cinematic trailer. So
Mhm.
Yeah,
cool, but whatever.
it looked cool. Yeah.
I think once they actually show what the game is,
Yeah,
is when it'll jump on people's radars. But
so cool.
it looks like what it just kind of what it looks like from what they showed. It's like Witch with superpower or like superpowered witch. It's like I'm in. Let's go.
they had Stray, which is where you play as a cat.
Cat. Yeah.
Mm.
A
Uh,
robot
my
cat.
girlfriend really wants that game, so
I
we're
I
gonna
was gonna
try and
say, I
play
had a feeling. I was like,
it.
same.
it looks
Game for the
looks
cat
interesting.
people.
I think it'll probably be really interesting.
Looks interesting.
Yeah.
That's I think the thing. It's something I've mentioned a few times on the podcast where
Hmm.
there just comes a certain point in like the technology of our game where I think aesthetics and style are going to end up being more impressive than just like how high fidelity graphics you have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And one of those, I think, like Stray is just like, okay, it's like, it's not super graphically intensive, it's not super action packed, but a lot of games that aren't those tend to be, in my opinion, better. So
Mhm.
I'm I'm holding my breath on that one. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on that one too. I'm also curious, like, what is the gameplay going to be on this? But
Do you guys have the list open, or is it
Yeah, I
just
have
me
it
reading
open. I
yeah,
down?
have it
Okay,
open. I have
yeah,
it
I got it open.
I don't remember what Returnal is,
I
so
it was like that space
Yeah.
one where
Oh yeah, you're basically like Groundhog Day in space.
yeah, it was like yeah.
And you're a
So
lady.
she would have to
oh
she
yeah,
like wake up, arrive, then
yeah, and then she like dies. Okay,
yeah.
It
uh,
look
I
it
It
think
was
it'll be
the
interesting.
way
like
they're like
Cool.
spinning it. It's like, is it Dark Souls in space?
no, I
Like,
think someone was yeah, I guess someone was like Dark Souls. I think
Yeah,
someone
I've heard Dark Soul vibes. People were
Dead
saying Death
Space vibes.
Stranding vibes.
That too.
People
Yeah.
were just saying Alien vibes.
So
I mean, the aesthetic's super cool, and the like premise is also dope.
yeah, essentially it feels like it
I feel like
like
I personally haven't played a lot of games that deal with that kind of time loop. Like, I think a
Mhm.
lot of people know Majora's Mask
Yeah.
has the like
Oh,
3-day
yeah.
time loop.
Yes.
And there are a bunch of other games that have happened since then, but I can't remember them off the top of my head.
I think
It's,
that it was interesting because it was the developers
yeah,
house mark.
I was about to ask you, what else?
So
You guys
they
know what else
mostly did
they have
arcade games from what I remember. So I think that's why. I just remember everyone's like, "Oh, it was
Oh,
review a new game and it's not arcadey." So
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right. That's definitely arcadey. Okay.
yeah. So interesting.
Yeah, I haven't. Wow, damn, I haven't played any of their games.
Yeah.
We
Next
had
one, boys.
Sackboy,
Next one.
which
When
Harrison and I we played a lot of.
we played so much of that.
Was it just the original Little Big Planet, or did we
Like
play
us
two?
I think we touched two, but I think we spent the most time on
Yeah,
one.
mainly on one.
Sitting. I remember we were sitting in my because I think the PlayStation was in my brother's room, and we just sat in his room and
Yeah,
we're all just sitting around like
that's
making
another
stuff.
one of those where it's. I think it was so iconic with the PlayStation 3 as like
Mhm.
Sackboy, PlayStation 3, where you skip PlayStation 4 and then he's back in 5. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool.
It threw me off because I was like, "What is this?" It was like he was in a suit, right? And I was like, "Oh, what kind of game is this?"
And it
Like,
just turned out to be a platformer.
yeah, and then yeah, it's. I have. I'm excited.
Yeah, he was in the fucking. He was in the like Tony the Tiger suit
Yeah,
kind of
I was
thing.
like, "Is this like a Tony the Tiger game or something?" It's kind of
What
weird.
those
And then I
Frosted
was
Flake games?
Yeah, yeah. I remember going over to your house and playing this.
oh, okay, yeah, you came over too. Cool, cool. I
Yeah,
think this was the time when you guys both came over just because I had the PS3, and it was like, oh,
yeah.
let's
Yeah,
just
you're the only one who had a PS3.
yeah at the time.
It reminds me because I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit.
Yeah,
They did Astra's Playroom, which was like, oh, this little mascot is indicative of PlayStation 4, and
Mm.
it's like
yeah,
he's just there.
and
But
I
I mean, I think it's mainly like it's. I think that game they mentioned it comes preloaded on every PS5,
I was,
and
yeah.
it's more of a showcase.
mhm.
It's not really a game. It's just
Like, oh, okay.
almost like a tech demo,
Oh, okay, okay.
but like a yeah, because I think showcases the features of the DualSense controller because um, I know PlayStation has their new controller that I'm really excited to see, but it
Mhm.
has some new features, and I guess that was meant to showcase it. It's
Showcase
just it's weird because you see mascot characters in games now. It's
dude,
funky.
it's weird. It's crazy.
Uh,
What was
we had
this?
Destruction All Stars was next, which feels like a lighter, kid-friendly Twisted Metal
Yeah.
mixed with Rocket League.
Yeah, I was
Just
gonna say
again,
that.
I was trying.
It's the car. You're like all these random
Yeah,
characters.
you're either like you can. I think
Cars.
they
Get
showed gameplay where cars drive around in an arena,
yeah.
and you can also play as a character who's in the arena, and you like dodge cars.
Oh yeah, yeah. This seemed like one of those like cheesy like TV shows. Like what are those called? Like just obstacle course TV shows, but it was like a demo.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm actually like watching it. I was actually like, I'm kind of into this a little bit.
It was cool. I was like, all right, this is cool. I probably won't
Yeah.
play it. But
I think it'd be fun, but I wouldn't go out of my way.
it
To
looks
play.
like a fun like,
Yeah.
oh, we'll play it just to like try it out, and then but
Watch it turn into the next Rocket League, though.
Jesus Christ. Yeah,
You never know.
you never know, yeah. But that was a game. Which one
All
was
right, the next one though, I think it was my top 3 in the entire event. It was
Oh.
Ken Up Bridge of Spirits,
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
which I think that one it looked so pretty and so stylistic. That
Mm-hmm.
and one other game in this event, I think
Mhm.
showcased to me like, yeah, these games have a super unique art style.
Yeah.
That isn't going for photorealistic, and it
No.
looks so much better because of it.
And they
And
got the cute little fur people.
These little gremlin things.
Oh my god.
Well, and I think the developers were like, I can't remember filmmakers or something. But when they said that what they used to do, I'm like, oh, this
Yeah,
feels
they worked in
u-
animation.
cinematic. Yeah, they worked in yeah. So I'm like, this feels cinematic. This feels really cool to like watch.
Yeah.
It's the first time, like, I get to play a Pixar game, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say you could see this whole like spotlight thing being just like a trailer for a movie. Like
Pixar like visuals essentially is
Yeah.
all I ever see about this game, and I'm like, I'm super hyped. This looks really good.
I am
I want it to be good.
very interested in that game.
Yeah, I want it to be. Good.
I think I'll probably buy it regardless, just because it looks like a really pretty game.
It looks so, like, yeah. Well, I have yes.
No,
I
no.
wanna
Do
say
you have
more.
more to say?
It's more of like how I felt about the entire event. So we'll just say that at the end. So
Okay.
this is like one of the games I'm super hyped for.
You got like little lemming people in it too.
Were you surprised, Ian, that I was like, because I said this was one of my like top 3. Were you surprised?
No, not when I saw what it was.
Oh, okay.
I just had like the words and I didn't remember the name with
Gotcha.
the visual of the game actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that game looks great.
It really does. I also hope it's really good and I want it. And I might get a PS5 for this. Along with other things too. But
What's the next one? I forgot.
The complete opposite mood whiplash was Goodbye Volcano High.
oh
Which
yeah.
if you're a scaly, you're probably loving it.
I
If
was
you
kind of
oh.
surprised that they let this
say
be here.
like
Not that it shouldn't. It's just I'm surprised that they were like okay with this.
You usually don't see visual novels or dating sim games revealed like
in a big
with
reveal.
all these other games. It's usually like I feel like it would if they did an indie event. Yeah, great.
would've been-
Fits in perfectly.
But
This is an indie title, right? I'm not
yeah, it was
It's definitely
pretty
seems
style.
yeah.
okay.
So I
But
mean, that's still cool though. I think it is an indie. Yeah, it is indie. Yeah, looking at it. So I
Okay.
mean, if anything, that's really cool. Like they put an indie. Really, are some of these indie? But
I
no,
think
this one.
some of them are maybe what you consider indie.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was definitely very different.
Yeah. Like, I mean, that's cool. I
Uh,
guess. It's pretty cool.
It's basically like what it sounds like at least is like a high school drama
Yeah,
type story.
it's
Yeah.
like high school visual novel drama.
Yeah.
I I am tempted to buy it only so when we have a get together, we all sit down and we force our friends to play it.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
That's all I want.
Go.
Here's a step into this game.
What's the next one?
Oddworld Soulstorm was the next reveal. I cannot remember what that was.
It's these little
Oh,
goblin-looking people,
yeah, one of
and
them had,
you
like, his
go
mouth
through.
tied.
It's another kind of
Oh
like it's an
yeah.
obstacle course, uh, style game where you like have these people following that
Yeah,
you're
it's
trying to
almost like a
save
little
too.
platformer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Apparently I think
I
it's been in development for a while, from what I remember.
from I'm surprised. So like from listening to the guy talk and from like
Oh, yeah.
all the like visual lead up, the
Yeah.
like the story element lead up stuff. I'm
Mhm.
surprised how much work went into that to make the game that it is.
It's very
Like,
like I think I know like the gameplay and the story has like there's the gameplay and story segregation, which is a trope, but it's like, oh, this game is he's hyping it up to be a very emotional, dramatic, story driven game, and then you're just like platforming around and leading a bunch of people to their
yeah,
That's
like
what I
platform
thought
puzzle. Yeah, it just there's a
he
little
said
bit
it
of a
was
disconnect
funny.
there for
I
me.
thought he said it was supposed to be funny. Like, I remember him saying, like, "Oh, it's like like a journey, but also we wanna have, like, a funny twist," or something like that. So I'm like, "Okay." I
Yeah,
thought it was gonna be funnier. So I thought it was kinda weird how serious it was.
yeah. I
But
think
the
it's
story felt
like
kinda serious
the
though.
the deaths and stuff. Like I think it's supposed to be kind of funny when like you fuck up and some of your like people that you're trying to save die, but then it's like in the context of the story and the world that you built, that's actually kind of fucking sad, dude.
Yeah.
Jeez.
This is I I don't maybe it's because I don't really remember it, and that's indicative. Like I just didn't really care.
Mm.
I
I
think
remember, like, seeing the visuals. I'm, "Oh, this is cool." Then I saw that it was, like, you're running and you're, like, you have, like, the followers or whatever. You're essentially trying to lead through, like, a platform, like, 3D platforming type thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like I think
Cartoon.
I'm kind of agreeing with Ian where I think they're trying to hype it up, and then I watched it. I was like, this doesn't make me think of the story you're trying to tell.
It's a
Yeah.
So
remake.
maybe it's just like it was a bad
Remake.
first impression.
Maybe.
Um,
Uh, no, it's a remake. I'm looking into it now. I was like,
oh,
"Oh,
is
yeah.
it?
I remember yeah, it's a remake of an older game."
Oh, it's a remake. Okay.
So that
Because
makes a lot more.
like I guess for me, and this is just purely like it might just be like or our like expectation versus reality kind of thing, but the way they built up the story, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be like an open world," or maybe not. It would be more like a
Like an adventure game,
that's what I'm looking for. Yeah,
Mm.
it'd be like
and
an
not
open
a
adventure
platformer.
game. Yeah, 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 yeah. But
I
whatever.
yeah.
I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I'm not particularly tied to it, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
same. What's next?
Ghostwire Tokyo was next.
Was that
That
the
one,
slightly was that the quote unquote spooky one?
yeah, it was like a
Yes. Oh,
suspense horror
Yeah,
thriller
that's
type of
I'm
yeah.
so down for this one.
Really?
If we're doing a top
aesthetically,
3, if we're doing a top 3, this is in top 3.
that's your
Like
top
for
three.
aesthetics or like the gameplay or look
Mostly
cool.
aesthetics, also
'Cause
gameplay.
If I remember the gameplay, it looked like you were just it looked I can't remember. Do you
It's
fight in
like
that one?
it's first person and you like cast like I don't know what they're called. I don't know, like spells or whatever, but you like cast
Oh,
stuff
you
and
cast
make
stuff?
things
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, this
I
looked sorry, go ahead, Ian.
I was just gonna finish off with like it looks so it looks so unique and uh it is super tied to like a lot of Japanese like mythos and stuff like
Mhm.
that.
That's the
I'm
part
like
that gets
super into
me.
it.
Like,
Right?
I think y you get into, like, past the, like, first level of Japanese mythology and cryptozoology, and it gets really cool, and I think that's where if they hit it right, Ghostwire Tokyo is probably gonna be a buy for me. Like, I wanna see more, but, like,
Mm.
if they pull out some of the more it's the same thing with, why I really liked, Sekiro
Mm,
is they started pulling from relatively unknown, at least to, like, most of the Western world,
Mhm.
unknown Japanese myths.
Mm.
The same like Ghostwire Tokyo. If they pull like really unique Japanese monsters and ghosts and all that, that will be really cool. Also adding the fact that yeah, the gameplay looked really cool because you're banishing all these spirits and demons. It almost looked like an FPS, except you're just like waving your hands differently, but you cast spells, and it looked really cool. So
Mhm.
definitely gonna keep my eye on that one.
Faux show.
Did you can you think of a top 3 for you, Harrison? Because I think I have mine.
Uh, let me look. Let me look at the list as
Okay,
we go through
okay.
this.
I
God
guess
damn it.
maybe we'll finish at the end.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
gonna say that's like an ending thing.
maybe I get a pass and I get a top 5.
Why do you get
You get the top 5.
It's because Ian can never make hard decisions.
I can never make
So can you?
I don't play
Uh,
games, alright?
we had a random okay, this is completely off topic.
Uh-huh.
I think it was just Ian and I, we were hanging out, and I think you were eating or you were just eating, and I asked
Uh-huh.
what you got, and he was like, "Oh, I got smash burger." And then I went under
Right.
this tirade of like, "Hey, do you like smash burgers or do you like traditional burger patties or like do you have a favorite cheese?" And it was so random. So yeah, Ian is not good at making hard decisions.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't I
not.
don't I don't play favorites. And you know why? I'm gonna spin it like this. I'm
Uh,
very empathetic. So I can understand why this has pros and this has pros and understand that
but
one's
if
not
you were
necessarily
so if
better.
so
Well,
if
then
you had to
what's
choose,
different?
like if you had to like so for instance, they give you the burger patties, you can only take one. Why would you choose one? You can't take both.
Well, see, and it depends on what mood I'm in. Am I not that hungry? Maybe I would take like a smaller
No,
smush patty
the
because
smush
it's
patty
like,
will be the equivalent size of the other patty.
well, then
All
it's
right,
not a smash
let's
patty, right?
we'll continue this after the recording. Let's not get too sidetracked.
Yeah, all right, all right.
But yeah, Ian does not make uh he doesn't like those hard choices. But anyway, the next one was Jet the Far Shore. This
Right.
one
I'm so confused what this game is. Is it supposed to be like a Civ style kind of thing?
that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Like some sort of civilizations or base building type game.
Mhm.
It wasn't very. It was definitely like a teaser of like the
Yeah.
setting and all that. So need more context of the game
Yeah.
because that's like space ish maybe. I don't know.
If it's a base builder, I'm more interested. If it's a I'm not a huge fan of the civilization type games. So if it's like that, I'm just not gonna get it.
Guess we'll
If they
see.
like carve out a future for people and then they put like year 0 to whatever, it
Yeah.
makes me think of something like that, but
Yeah, I can definitely see where you're coming from. We had Godfall next, which we've known about Godfall for a
Mhm.
little while. They
They teased that
was
first.
it last
If any,
year or
yeah, I think
maybe
last year. Probably.
I
yeah.
think
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was
Yeah,
last
no,
year.
last year at the Game Awards, I think.
Yeah, but they did have a little bit more explanation of the game, a little bit of
Yeah.
gameplay. Um, I'm casually interested. Um,
Okay,
I
so
think like all of us, we've all played looter type games before, and
yeah,
we've all enjoyed them and that. So I'm
Mhm.
interested. What were you gonna say, Harrison?
so like I'm interested, but it's like I guess I don't know what to. I kind of wanted more out of it, but of course I think they just had to show more because they showed gameplay at the PC Gamer event and they showed actual gameplay. And I
Mhm.
guess I wasn't super hyped about it. I was like, okay, cool. This is like another game. I think the one thing they mentioned in that show, they were like, oh, we're trying to do what was the phrase? It was like a looter slasher type thing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, isn't that like most games? Kind
See,
of.
that's where after having watched some gameplay, I was a little more cautious
Oh, you
Yeah.
felt that way
because
too. Yeah.
like
I
looter shooters I think work generally because you can have some really interesting shooter mechanics.
Mhm.
Like obviously we have Division, which is supposed to be cover based. Um Destiny is just a very high quality FPS looter shooter with like when you add in melee to that, it's really hard to make, I think, melee an interesting mechanic. Especially
Mhm.
theirs, it looked more hack and slashy.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
wonder.
not really what I'm going for.
Yeah, see, that's what
So
I was thinking too. It looked hack and slashy. And then my other thing is, I wonder if the focus is not on the weapons, but more like the armor that gives you powers, maybe. Because I think they seem to focus more on like unlocking armors, if anything.
yeah, they're like the god armor and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
godlike armors and all that.
One thing I will say is they made a whole like thing is like, oh, we're creating like a whole new genre or some
Yeah, it's
shit
like,
like
no, you're
that.
not.
No,
And yeah, yeah, like to me, it sounded, and me and Harrison talked about this a little bit. It sounds just like Darksiders 2 to us, which it's kind of the
really.
exact same stuff. Yeah, Darksiders 2, you got like you would loot like equipment. It was looter equipment, and it was melee.
Yeah, it was
So you had like different equipment that would make you look different, and it would also do different stuff. So they had different like styles of armor that
and
were
then
like for different play styles.
and then
And
even
then
the ranking, like the color coordinated ones, it's oh
yeah,
green, oh, it's a common one. Oh, it's a
yep,
more rare one. So I'm like, all right, this is nothing new. So I'm not.
right, yeah.
I think
And
that's
then they
part
had like different weapons, so different melee styles. Like it sounded completely the same.
it's the same, just maybe
I think
like.
I think realized why I'm more cautious of it now is watching the gameplay and watching that third person perspective in Melee. It made me think a lot of the MOBA Smite, and I hate Smite's perspective.
Oh,
And
interesting.
I think that's why
I think someone did
'cause
mention how
it felt like watching the animation stuff. Obviously, it's a work in progress, and they're not done with it,
yeah,
but it seemed very floaty. Like,
it
there
also
wasn't a lot of heft. Even when they're using, like, this really heavy plate and using a giant two-handed mace,
mhm,
they felt too floaty, or it seemed like the animations were very floaty.
mm,
I can see what you mean with that. Yeah.
I get what you mean, and I think the other thing was, like, I think someone mentioned I think it was this game too, but someone was like, "It feels like the camera's following the weapon and not you." So it
Oh,
kind of feels weird to watch,
I
but
didn't
it could
even.
just be a cinematic thing, and it could just be like, "Oh, this is for the trailer," but it felt like if it was gameplay, it felt like the camera followed the weapon versus, like, the person, which was it was, like, kind of a weird perspective on that, and I was like, "Oh,
Huh.
maybe."
I
I don't wanna shit on this game so much because 'cause I'm like, it's not even it's like it's still in progress, but I think right now it's like,
yeah.
it looks great, it looks cool, but I think that's all I got for it.
Yeah. I yeah, I'm still cautiously like super interested.
Yeah, I'm still interested, but a little bit more cautious now.
Yeah, I'm not to the level of, "Oh, this is gonna be an Anthem," but I'm leaning towards, like, this is probably not gonna be as good as it is. So,
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
guess we'll see.
They had Solar Ash next, which I'm really excited for. Um, it's the same developers who
Yes.
did Hyper Light Drifter,
Oh my
which
god.
I
Yeah,
love Hyper Light Drifter.
so
Part of it is, like, the aesthetic of Hyper Light Drifter was great, but I think
Mhm.
the soundtrack was just, like,
100%.
automatically just another rank up, and I think if they have that same not even the same, like, genre or style of music, but that same just quality and
mhm.
variety in their music, I wanna say Solar Ash is also in my top 3. Uh,
Agreed.
it just looks not even really seeing a lot of gameplay. Um, they show off this, like, crazy looking world. There's that big spooky lady who's just, like,
Mhm.
murders your character, looks
Yeah.
like. I'm really excited.
Like I just it's an immersion thing for me is like I loved Hyper Light Drifter and taking that into 3D, I was like, "Oh my god. Yes. Please. 100%."
Yeah, super hyped. This looks so good. If anything, it makes me wanna go back to playing. I think a lot of people after watching that is like, "I kinda wanna play Hyper Life Drifter again."
Yeah,
Yeah.
after all this ended, I just, like, loaded up the soundtrack, and I'll just listen to it like, "Yeah, I remember this. I remember that feeling.
Ooh.
I remember you.
I remember dying a lot."
Same, same.
They had Hitman 3, which
Hype.
wasn't a whole lot. It was a lot of
It's like cinematic.
trailer, not really a lot of gameplay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think they just showed off like the tech at the end. Like,
Yeah,
like, looks cool.
I don't have a lot to say because I didn't really play any of the Hitmans. It looked nice. Once again, a very high quality graphics game, but um, I don't know enough about Hitman to say much else.
It
I
look,
feel like. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna. It looks like it's gonna be a really cool setting. Like they can finally do some other stuff. Maybe I like the Hitman series. It's just at least the few that I've played. Uh, I'm excited for. I like Hitman. I like the.
I
It's
was gonna say I feel like they have a good track record. I mean, it's only been what 2 games, but they have a good.
Like,
Those 2 games have been,
oh,
or at least in the Hitman series. I don't know what
no,
else they've
there's
done, but
this is like the rebooted 1, 2, 3. There's like way more before that.
oh, are there?
Yeah, there's like
Oh,
like there's
well
when they
then the 1, 2, and 3 have been really good. That
yeah,
are
the
reboots
recent
at
ones have been
least.
really good. The
Yeah.
one before that was like, I can't remember the name, but that's
Oh,
when I started getting into it
was that the
again.
one with Absolution
I think that's what it was.
or
It's like
Hive?
I think it
oh,
was
I
actually
had no idea these were reboots.
no, these yeah, this has been this has been going on since like I think like Xbox.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But I think it was Absolution that was like
Kind of man.
before the reboot, and I was like, oh okay, this is okay.
Uh,
But yeah,
well,
pretty hyped.
yeah.
And then we talked about Astro's Playroom.
Hmm.
Little Devil Inside was the other one. I think this one is probably my number one. I was most interested in.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Nice.
Once again, it had like a more unique style,
Mhm.
and it seems like there's a lot of variety in the gameplay, even though they haven't. I don't even necessarily know if all of that was gameplay,
Mhm.
but it just looked really fun, and I really like the art style. Um,
No, I like the art style. It looks very interesting. I like the how they framed the trailer was like between like the
yeah, his
adventure
like
and then
Yeah,
like the
butler.
old
they're
dude.
really fucking funny with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for this one.
Yes, it looks cool. I'm super interested.
I
Want to
agree.
read more.
Yeah.
We had
I thought maybe you might not be into it as much because it looks like an art style where they could pull off another Yeti from like Rudolph.
See, they had something like that, and I was like, "Come on, man!
big scary cat.
Don't don't make me do it. Don't do it to me like this."
I will. It
You're the chosen.
like you're the what you said about the like variety and gameplay. Yeah, like 100%. There's so
It made me
much
think of Monster Hunter
different shit. Yeah.
because they had like he had a sword and shield. He had a gun. They showed off dropping a bomb into a monster's mouth.
Yeah.
Just like hiding from the spooky cat. Like I
Yeah.
said, like I don't know if any of that was actual gameplay, and it
Right.
might not have been, but they definitely seem.
Or maybe it's kind of like a style of what is it? Shadow. It got remade a couple years back.
Shadowrun?
No, no. It's the one where it's like a bunch of like giants, and that's all there is. It's an empty world with these like
Oh, Shadow of the Colossus.
Colossus. Yes, yeah,
Oh.
yeah, yeah. Maybe like
it-
that, but
that'd
it
be
has like minions and like little
Yeah.
smaller monsters scattered throughout the world too. Maybe.
But yeah, that's my number one.
Mm.
We had NBA 2K21, which
Another like
high graphics, but none of us play sports games, so
Mhm.
I don't really want to say too much.
And I think actually this one, we talked about this at one point, Harrison.
NBA 2K.
Yeah, so remember when you were like we had a conversation earlier where you were talking about the Godfall trailer and you said it
Yeah.
had some kind of rap in it. The Siege wasn't on that part.
It was
The,
on
the
this part?
Siege was playing on the NBA part. Yeah,
Okay.
So,
no,
my
really?
B,
Okay, cool.
my B.
It's like
The Siege is a really good rap. You should
yes.
listen
Agreed.
to them. Anyways, moving on.
they had
One was
bug snacks.
Dude, I love this.
me too. I was like, what the
Did-
fuck is this?
I was not feeling it until the music came in, and only because of the music, because the artist is Caro Benito,
Mhm,
who my girlfriend really likes, and I do like Caro Benito too.
mhm.
Mhm.
But I
It's
I don't really know what to say.
I don't know what's going on.
I think that was the game out of all the others. I was just it was
Like
it's tied between that and Goodbye Volcano High, where I was just kind of speechless. Like I
Mm.
don't really know what I'm supposed to say.
this one was the one where like the person like ate food and then all of a sudden they
And then they started turning
They
into food.
Turn
turn
into
into
what they
food, like, the
eat.
arm turn they turn into what they eat.
I've heard
And the dude is like, my wiener.
I've got wiener hands. I can't put out the fire. And the monster food thing at the very
Dude,
end.
the thing is, I was actually a little bit spooked.
I was like, whoa, this is
I was like, oh shit.
What if it's actually a horror game with food and they're trying to hide
was
it?
hoping to see. I was like, is this just all like a joke? And all of a sudden, like it's actually like the most messed up game.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
See, I didn't check this, but someone said it's the same developers who did Octodad.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that puts everything in the context where I was like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I'm
moment
not
they
gonna,
created
I don't want this game, but I get it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll buy it either, but I do love that it exists.
I just want to. Yeah, it's cool. Why not? Some weird shit.
Then I think probably the biggest one a lot of people were expecting. They had the Demon Souls remake.
Yep.
I'm mad. I don't care. I don't want it.
Really?
Because that same studio, they're set in Austin, Texas, and I think for the past like maybe almost a year, they've been like trying to tease out what they're working on,
Uh-huh.
and as part of their teasing, they were hinting at, "Oh, we might remake Legend of Dragoon," and I was like, "Yes, yes, please do it!" And then they did Demon Souls. Like, I don't care anymore. I'm mad. I'm salty little boy. Don't show me this anymore.
Oh, man.
That's why you're salty.
That's a feels bad. Yeah,
I'm mad.
that's rough.
Otherwise, everyone else in
But I'm sure, like, I think it's gonna be interesting because
Mm.
Demon Souls did have some mechanics that never made it to Dark Souls.
Mm,
I'm wondering if they ended up keeping them or if they tweaked them at all.
yeah. It'd be
'Cause
interesting to see, like,
there's,
what they decide
like
is-
even looking at just Dark Souls 1 and Demon Souls did some weird stuff that to me wouldn't make for a fun game, and I'm wondering if they try to alleviate that.
I think with this one, it's not. It's like a remake, so it's going to be like completely overhauled. So it's probably going to be update. Some things are probably going to be updated
Mm.
with that. So maybe some mechanics will change. Some things will maybe stay. I'm not sure, but we'll see. Because it looks like it's a total remake, so it could be like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, when they did Shadow of the Colossus, they did try for a full-on remake.
Mm-hmm.
So
We'll see. On
Yeah.
that one. It's pretty cool.
yeah,
I get the salt stuff.
I'm mad. I don't want to talk about it. They had Deathloop after. I felt this one went on too long.
Really?
It
like
looks cool. I was just like, this feels like this trailer has gone on for like twice as long as some of the other trailers.
I guess I was cool with it because I was like, oh, this is really cool. Because I wanted to know more from last time. Because they they announced the game, I think, last year. And I was like, all right, this is a cool premise, but I want to know a little bit more. And this is like definitely Dishonored style.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
It looks really cool. Like the fight, just the first person fighting and all that stuff, the shooting.
It's funny. I haven't seen a lot of games that have done like time loops, and then they show off this game.
Yeah.
Deathloop.
Yeah.
I'm pretty interested on this one. This is like one of the ones I'm.
Did you guys play the first Dishonored?
Yeah,
I watched it. Yeah.
What about the second?
I did not play that.
Also watched that one.
Okay, it's
I watched
I
it.
I tried to play Dishonored, and I think there's something just about the gameplay. Maybe I need to go back. I couldn't get into it.
Oh, interesting.
So maybe that's why I was also kind of disinterested in Deathloop.
Mhm.
A lot, like, it does look the combat or
I was gonna say,
the gameplay looks like exactly the same
Yeah,
kind of thing.
definitely. Like
Yeah.
even the way like they hold the guns and weapons and stuff.
yeah,
But I think it did have a really cool stylized trailer, if
Oh
anything.
yeah.
no, it did. Yeah, so
Very cinematic.
I'm interested in what the gameplay actually is, because at the end it also shows you being in the like first person of the girl that's hunting him. So I'm wondering if it's like a PvP kind of thing, maybe. Like where
That'd
they
be a
have,
twist.
that'd be a
yeah,
twist. It'd be kind of weird too, because it's like it seems like he has to do objectives. Like he has
mhm.
to kill these 5 or 10 people. I don't remember.
It's a PvP roguelike.
Weird.
That'd be wild. Yeah, like you just matchmaking to a. Oh, that'd be wild.
Jesus, but pretty interesting.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
Mhm.
Moving on. Sorry, can you guys hear my cat?
No,
Yeah.
think
Okay,
you're good.
good. They had Resident Evil 8,
Yeah.
which I think takes home the award for best reveal
Oh,
of the entire event,
agreed.
because I was like, okay, cool, the village, and then they like show it back, and it's like Resident Evil 8, and the 8's in the village. I was like, ooh, I even messed it. I was just like, oh my god, like, this is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because we already heard the rumors about it, about how like it'd be a village setting. So it kind of, I think that ruined it for me.
Oh, dang.
That's when it sucked. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, it is true.
Because I didn't hear that at all, and it got me. I was like, oh,
I think
fuck.
I'm
partly,
at least happy you guys were like shocked.
yeah,
Because this would have been so cool.
like
Yeah.
For me.
I hadn't heard the rumors,
Mm-hmm.
and especially after Resident Evil 7, where it felt like a pretty big departure in style.
Mm-hmm.
Like there weren't like it wasn't just the zombie overrunning the world. It was
Yeah.
okay, this looks like a cool medieval fantasy. Oh, is this, it reminds me of what is that game? Dying Light? Not Dying Light.
Light.
No, what's the, it had the,
What?
it's the same kind of gameplay as Detroit Become Human. Until Dawn.
Until Dawn.
That's what I was thinking of, because it's like, okay, these like realistic characters, but it seems like there's something supernatural.
Yeah,
So it
yeah.
definitely threw me off. I was not expecting a Resident Evil.
No, it's such a good reveal. Like when they had the village and then they just blinked. Like essentially they just like flashed like the numbers. I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah, that was slick.
And oh man, they have like a moment in here, which, like, I love like getting into like the lore of Resident Evil, just because it's so like weird and complicated, and there's like different kind of
Yeah,
viruses
it
and
is
stuff
very
like that. So I'm interested like how, like what's happening in here, like what's going
like because Chris was revealed at the end.
Yeah.
right?
on. He was there.
And
Yeah,
that's like,
Fucking shoots
oh,
a
he's
dude.
a villain.
The man looks like he's been through shit.
Yeah, right.
But it also looks like I couldn't tell it was him because he has a look. So I'm like, oh, I
So
guess
that's what immediately I saw people were like, oh, it's his evil clone. Like people who understand how wild Resident Evil gets, like it's a clone from a different timeline, or like it's a doppelganger, or some crazy stuff like that. So
yeah. 'Cause-
I'm probably not gonna get it. I'm not a big Resident Evil fan, but I'm probably gonna end up watching it because
I like watching playthroughs. I just can't handle playing it.
The spoopies.
I'm a little bitch.
It's okay.
Don't end it on that. Don't go quiet.
don't go quiet. Guys disagree with me.
just moving on. Pragmata. I swear this is Death Stranding. It's like the sequel or
That's
some
what
weird,
I thought.
and then it's just completely unrelated. It seems like.
There's like the dude in the spacesuit or whatever suit that was, and then
Yeah,
the girl, and I'm like, this is definitely Death Stranding vibes. Like, what the fuck?
Yep. It's like there's the realistic world, but like crazy shit's happening, and yeah, psionic powers or some
Like-
shit. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah.
Hideo Kojima written all over it.
Oh,
Right?
I'll be interested to see just how this one pans out.
Super anime.
And then finally, they had Horizon Forbidden West, which
Yeah, baby.
we've all at least seen Horizon.
Yeah.
Like I know I played it. I can't remember. Harrison, did you play it?
started playing it, but then I think
Yeah,
school started.
and then I think you were the same, Ian. Like you started playing it, or did you?
Yeah, I
Played
no,
more.
I didn't beat
Okay.
it. I got into it, but I
Ian got
didn't
into
beat
it
it.
a lot more. But
This I think the same level as Spider-Man Miles Morales, where I'm gonna get it because just like Spider-Man PS4, I really, really liked Horizon Zero Dawn,
Mhm.
and I enjoyed the story. I enjoy Aloy as a character, so I
Mhm.
definitely want to see how all that pans out. And then you're moving to a completely different area.
it looks
Uh,
cool.
very excited for that one.
It-
I need to play this, like, for
like
sure.
vastly different environments too.
Yeah, I
Like
think I can't exactly remember where the first one is set, but I know this new one is set. It seems like set on the west coast of the U.S.
Mhm.
mm, gotcha. Yeah, I'm still planning on going back and beating the first one. Um, so yeah, I'm interested in this one as well.
Should work on that, man.
Yeah, I should. Because
Now,
there's
like
a
thinking
lot of
about
cool
it, like
stuff.
now that we've gone through the list, I think I can say my top 3.
Okay, what is it?
I think my top 3 would be Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, the Pixar one, um, and then Ratchet and Spider-Man. I think those are 3 that got me super
Okay.
hyped.
Mine was definitely Little Devil Inside.
Hmm.
There was Solar Ash, and then yeah, Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. All three of those like super unique styles, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, so cool. But you're Ian. What about your 5? I mean 3.
I abstain.
Cheater.
You can't do 3. You gotta do
All right,
5.
all right. Hang on. All right, all right. If I do get
You
5,
don't do it
I
in order.
should
You
at
just do it.
least do it. I should at least do it.
Yeah, we're giving you a huge gimme right there.
All right, all right. I do want to say Ghostwire Tokyo. Um, mine was where is this? The Little Devil.
Yep.
Um, both like you guys. Let's see. It would be Ghostwire Tokyo. Or you know what? You know what? I'll do 3. Ghostwire
Yeah.
Tokyo, Little Devil, and Kenna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are
all
my
three of us like Kenna.
It looks so cool. It just looks dope. I just really hope it's a good game, has good
Mhm.
gameplay.
Mm-hmm. Same.
And then I think they immediately went into like the consoles, right? Right after.
Yeah, they had the console reveal, which
Yeah.
I think looks pretty cool.
That's pretty
I
cool.
don't like. Yeah, some people think it's really goofy looking, and
Some people are
Yeah.
whatever.
I think it looks cool too, but I do want to say like the one that got me, because they always have to like Photoshop it onto different things. The one that got me is the Seto Kaiba.
Dude,
Yep.
Seto Kaiba,
Somebody made it look
that's
like
it.
Seto Kaiba. I
I was
lost.
like, that's too good. I can't. The amount
Um,
of memes on that one is really good. I can't. I just can't. But
Like, especially if it ends up that the cooling system on the PS5 is way better,
mhm.
because I hate listening to my PS4.
like
Partly,
fucking
like
wine.
I have it in like a little cubby on my TV
Yeah.
stand, and it's just in its own little box, and it's trying to fly away.
Uh, question:
Yeah.
Do um do we all think we're gonna? I think I'm actually going to get this. Do you guys think you are too?
PS5,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the
definitely,
PS5. I just don't know
definitely.
if I'm gonna get if they're because they always have versions, right? So
Right.
I want to know more. Do we? No, there's specs. I just can't remember the specs right now.
Right.
But they always
Well,
end up having like
well,
a
there are
second version.
specs, but they haven't gone into the details of the digital version versus the
Yeah, I think that's what I want to
drive
know.
version.
That was
Which one
my
would you get? Because I think I know which Luke's gonna get.
I actually don't know.
Really? Okay.
It's kind
I
of
thought.
dependent on how my girlfriend feels.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
I mean, I would like to get the digital one because it looks nicer. I don't really like that bulge for
Yeah.
the disc drive in the other one, but
Mm.
Huh.
I mean,
I thought you.
I'm also assuming the digital one will be cheaper, so that's probably what I end up getting anyway.
Yeah, if
Um,
you did.
That's the one I want to get to is a digital one,
but
but
I
I'm
mean,
just worried.
if they all come stock with, like they said, like a terabyte of storage, maybe it doesn't matter as much. But
Mm.
Which is that's what I'm kind of worried about is like a lot of the on the tail end for PS4 they started having like 2 terabyte. No, did they?
see,
Did they? Hold on. Did they? Or am I
I don't know.
crazy? I think I'm crazy.
No, you're
Right?
crazy.
1 terabyte.
They
It
they
was
didn't
500.
come they didn't
They
come
doubled.
stock, if
It
anything.
started 500 and then they doubled. That's what I was thinking. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, never mind. Yeah, scratch that. Whatever. So,
Hmm.
I think I get the digital edition because it looks so good, so sleek.
But I like having physical copies
Yeah,
of
that's why I
games,
thought you
so
wanted that one for sure.
Same.
yeah. But
I
see, my
thought.
girlfriend doesn't. She doesn't like all the clutter, and I like.
Oh.
And maybe I don't care as much because when I get a physical copy of a game, there's no manual, and I love reading manuals. It's
Yeah.
just a disc, or sometimes it's just a piece of paper. Like, here's the download code.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So maybe I don't get physical, but
I'm kind of sad that's
I'm
like an era
yeah.
that ended.
I
I
miss
like the manuals too.
I miss
Yeah.
game manuals.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, but
Meh.
You, I was gonna say something like, Harrison, you don't really like to read, so it doesn't matter.
Damn.
but I used to like to look at the pretty colors in the picture.
Yeah.
And then they stopped doing. They even
you-
stopped doing that. It started
They
becoming
took
black and
that
white.
away
Remember?
from you.
It started becoming black and white, and I'm like, oh, this is like half at this point.
All right. Let's go ahead and we're gonna quickly go over the PC gaming show. I know this episode has been going on for a little bit longer than we usually do. So
And I do want to add really quick. Just
yeah.
this is what I wanted to say at the beginning, kind of, but like with this event, I know how like if you go back on the episode, I was like, oh, Xbox was like cool, but it didn't show much of like what the future was. I don't remember what I said, but now watching this, like this showcase, I'm like, this is the future. This feels like there's games that I'm like, oh, I want to get this game. Oh, I want to get the PlayStation 5.
See, the one thing I thought of when they did the Project Athia reveal was, oh, this looks like the Unreal 5 demo just as a game, which like the Unreal 5 demo was incredible.
Right. Yeah.
So if this is the kind of stuff that the PS5 can show off, then
Then
yeah, it lives up to the name of the future of gaming.
it does.
Sorry about that, everybody. We had a few technical issues come up, but
That was weird.
here we are still. No harm, no foul. I think we were just at the point where we're going to briefly mention the PC gaming show. They also had a huge list, but I don't want to go through another list. And there were only 2 or 3 games that were really interesting, I think, for me and probably for the rest of us. I'm going to just go and start off. I think the one game we all were interested in was a game called Potionomics. Because we even talked about it before the recording. I really like once again, the aesthetic of that game just looked really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks
They
really
had
cool.
like a real clear art style, and it was really good.
And then it reminds me of I haven't played a lot of like shopkeeper games, but I know Ian, you played Moonlighter.
Yes.
Do you like that genre, one? And two, do you kind of get the same feel that Potionomics is going for with Shopkeeper? Or do you think it's a little bit different since there's like it seems like a deck building almost in Potionomics versus the actual dungeon crawling of Moonlighter?
Yeah, in that aspect, yeah, it's a lot different. But in terms of like you have a shop and you're like upgrading it, and you can like get new stuff and different types of things. From what I'm seeing here, it looks very similar. But yeah, in terms of like the gameplay style, yeah, it's not like dungeon crawly like Moonlighter was, but it looks like the whole like I'm just like looking at some like the cards and stuff that they have. Like I've never seen this before, and it's pretty cool. Like I've seen these aspects separately from each other, but I've never seen this all like put together like this, and it's pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the cards and all that stuff.
Yeah, just like how like the actual gameplay of it, of like this Moonlighter was more you're like a dungeoneer
Mm.
who also like on the side has like a shop, and it wasn't like you would buy stuff and it would passively happen, or you could like you would try and min-max your prices and stuff like that. But the bulk of the gameplay, at least, was you were dungeoneering. At least for me. But this, it looks like the bulk of the gameplay is actually like you are a shopkeeper and you're trying to manage these things like stress and turning profit and stuff like that. So yeah. Do you guys have anything to say about it?
I mean, mainly I want it for the art style.
Yeah.
I never played Moonlighter. Like I said, I haven't played a shopkeeper game, but the art style, and I think it'll just be. I think it's a nice change of pace. It seems very relaxing, and a lot of the games I play aren't relaxing. So I think I need something to just kind of like just chill out and play for an hour or two, and just be like, "Wow, okay, I had fun time, and I'm not sweating."
Mhm.
Basically,
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really interesting because. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, same. I like the art style. It looks pretty chill. I've seen some other. I can't remember the names of. I've seen one other streamer play almost a similar type of game, but it's not shopkeeping, but it's rather like talking to people, and you have to like use play certain cards to like keep the conversation going or push into a certain
Oh,
direction.
interesting.
So
Okay.
I think it was Hopper who played it. Actually, now that I think about it, but yeah. So I'm pretty interested. I think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nice
I think
twist.
this takes like the same two like concepts of Moonlighter and then like focuses on the other side. So this
Yeah.
is definitely more like shopkeep and like interpersonal
Yeah, agreed.
stuff. Yeah.
What other games, Luke, did you have?
um, I mean, it's not a new game, but Persona 4 Golden was a really nice reveal, partly because it's on PC, and it was also the same day. Hey, you can go download it. Um, I'm a
It's pretty
big
cool.
fan of the Persona series. Um, I really only know from Persona 3 onward, but I I like the themes. Maybe not even themes. I like the game.
Mhm.
It's the setting's always cool, and especially with 5, it makes turn-based combat really fun. But that was really cool. Um, for those of you who know Story of Seasons, it's basically Harvest Moon, but real Harvest Moon because there's a bunch of debacle between the developer and the publisher where Harvest Moon got to keep its name, but it's not the same game. And Story of Seasons is actually Harvest Moon. They had to use a different name. But they have Story of Seasons, which
Essentially,
Story Seasons Friends of Mineral Town, which the original Harvest Moon Friends of Mineral Town was a really fun game. And it was one of the games I really liked growing up.
yep.
So at least for PC, it seems like a lot of games that are just kind of nice and nostalgic for me.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's any like I know Remnant from the Ashes was not something I played, not something I was particularly interested in, but I think your brother Harrison played it.
Yeah, it was like my brother. I bought it too. I played it. I was like, okay, cool. Um, but I saw it. I was like, okay, cool. That's something fun. But I probably won't get into it. It's funny because the three that you mentioned are the three that I'm super excited about, at least to try. So Persona, Potionomics, and Seasons.
Yeah, there's there was I keep throwing there's Valheim and Dwarfheim.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dwarfheim is the one I'm also interested in just because um it looks like it's a local co-op game and I've always been looking for a local co-op game to play with my girlfriend. And it
Yeah.
seems it's got a base building element, which I'm really into base building right now.
Yes.
Um,
Arf!
The
and yeah,
Valheim look cool.
it looks like just like a fun, like it looks like a fun game to play.
Cute, fun.
Yeah.
Or Dwarf.
Look
I
good.
mean, yeah, Valheim looks fun.
Was there
And
anything else you guys were particularly interested in?
I know one game you mentioned before, Mortal
Mortal
Coil.
Shell.
That's I'm
Yeah.
trying to look for it. I saw like they showed some more on that. I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've been hyped for Mortal Shell for
I was
that
kind
looks
of some of that gameplay made me a little more skeptical. And I take it with a big grain of salt that the game is not finished yet. but it seemed just like the quality of the gameplay that they were showing off didn't seem very high. Like
Mm,
sound effects weren't playing when I think they should have been playing, or a lot of the animation seemed kind of wonky. And once again, like it's still in development, so because I remember like when you first showed it to me, and it looked really cool.
yeah,
So it's just something I'm being cautious about.
yeah, which is fair. I think just aesthetically in what they've shown so far has been so like cool and well done to me that I just find it really interesting. Um, yeah,
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty much it for me on the PC Gamer show. I know there's still
uh,
some other stuff. I missed out on some other shows, so I need to catch up on those.
Yeah, they
yeah,
have the
dude,
IGN shows, some indie shows.
there's
The
been like
Gorilla.
too much to watch. Like
Well,
there's
yeah,
way too much.
Essentially, it's like
Uh,
E3 week, and it's like having to catch up on everything.
yeah.
yeah. Instead
Uh,
of everything being centralized in E3, it's like 4 different websites you got to go to.
I wanted to point out to not overlap with any of you. There were two that I wanted to point out. That I was interested in was Shadows of Doubt on this one. Um, that just looks really interesting. If for some reason it's pixelated but in 3D, I don't know why. They're just going for an atmospheric thing, I guess. But it looks really interesting, and it's more it looks very like snooping around detective kind of things, and I love like detective mystery games.
Yeah, like the
So
mystery.
yeah, I'm super into that. So
Uh,
that's one that caught my attention, and the other one was Twin Mirror because that's made by the dudes that made Life is Strange 2
Mhm.
and the Captain.
Is that the game that you were talking about to me on the side, like earlier today? You're like, oh, I think you'd be interested in that because it's like a story game, something like that.
Oh no, that's something else entirely.
Oh,
That's Night in the Woods.
that's what it was. Never mind. Twin
That's
Mirror.
been out for a while.
You
Yeah.
said it was same people did Life is Strange though.
Yeah, Life is Strange 2 and the other one, Captain, the one about the kid.
Yeah, the like standalone. Okay.
Yeah. They did some other things too.
Okay.
Um yeah, Life is Strange. Oh, they did Vampire. The Awesome Adventure of Captain Spirit. That's it.
Yeah. Cool.
Too. So I'm
Yeah,
ex-
and there are a lot of other games in the PC gaming show, but
Mhm.
if
So many.
if we talk about all of them, this is going to be way
Yeah.
too long. So I think mainly the PS5 was the big interesting talk, and I
Mhm.
think we covered all that.
Yeah.
So without further ado, thank you all for listening to the SuperBoss Podcast. We really appreciate it. You can check us out Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Check us out. It's SuperBoss Podcast. And we have an email you can send feedback to, any questions, comments, concerns. Harrison, what's that email?
Superbossfeedback@gmail.com. But yeah. So you could just DM at like Facebook, Instagram, whatever works, Twitter. Let us know how we're doing.
Yep. We appreciate any and all feedback. And with that, I think we are signing off. So until next time, thank you all for listening and have a good week.
Bye bye.
Hey, Frosty.